because we're already on the topic of fathers. I know that your father passed away. Not very long ago.
More than a year ago.
Yeah. So maybe I want, first of all, for you to explain a bit what you meant when you also said that you can identify with what I said about my grandfather being the most emotional person who doesn't allow himself to be emotional.
Yeah.
And also just to ask if you miss your father, or maybe if you see things differently in retrospect now that he is gone.
Yeah.
If you want, you don't have to, of course.
So you had actually two questions inside this question. So the first one was relating to the a very emotional person who doesn't let his emotions out. I think my dad was an extremely emotional person, and he used to express these emotions through art. He was a painter, and he was a musician. He wrote songs, and his art was extremely expressive. I think this was the solace for him, for letting his emotions out and letting his repressed trauma out. Because I think he had, like, we never talked about this because he didn't let too much of it out. But like, I think he had like an extremely repressed trauma from the Yom Kippur War. He was fighting there. He was 18. We have a funny story in the family that he never what's the word for tzom?
Fasted.
He never fasted on Yom Kippur. And the only time that he decided he's going to fast was the year that the war broke out. Ever since, we have a family tradition of not fasting on Yom Kippur.
And very interesting.
Yeah.
But it also feels somehow very in tune with Jewish tradition of commemorating traumas.
Yeah.
Like in your wedding, you smash the glass to remember the destruction of the temple, even in the happiest day of your life.
Yeah. I think that this war was extremely traumatic for him. I think he lost most of his friends in this war. From the few stories he told me. And I think this trauma carried on because he felt like, we talked about the corruption of Israeli society. Like, he saw it like through time since like the 70s up until today. And I really think like he was a true Israeli patriot, unlike me. Like, he was a true patriot. And I think he really felt that the state that he fought so hard for has betrayed him. And I think this was also like extremely traumatic for him. And in his last years, he was very ill. And this made it hard for him to create. I mean, I totally forgot he was also a writer. And a really good writer. Way better than I will ever be. At least in Hebrew. Maybe I'll be a good English writer. But yeah, and he had like really poor eyesight towards the end of his life, so he couldn't write anymore. He couldn't paint. He couldn't make music. So this was really sad to see this person who's not used to expressing emotions not having this ability to do so through the medium of art, and he never trained himself to become more emotional.
And can one train themselves to become more emotional?
I think so. I think it's hard the older you get, but I think so. I think I used to be much colder and much like more closed.
Restrained.
Yeah, that's the word. And today I think I let my feelings out way more than I used to. And I have this fond memory that was, I think, a couple of months before he passed away. That he said, I want us to play a song. And it was a song, I don't even know when he wrote this song. But it was basically like a farewell song from the world. Because he was struggling with the thought of death for many years. Many years, because he was sick for many years.
By the way, while you were talking, I'm thinking of all kinds of pieces of music, which could be like a playlist for this specific podcast episode. We already had People Are Strange.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the Yom Kippur War, I was thinking about the song Eli Eli Lama Zavtani, which is, I actually don't know so well, but I heard it like a few weeks ago, this cantor singing in it. It's like very dramatic. And now when you were saying that it was a farewell song, I was thinking of Mahler, of a song from the Roykert leader, like I am not of this world anymore. I forget what the song is called. But maybe afterwards I just I compile all of these pieces of music.
the playlist for
the playlist, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, so this was really nice. Like he couldn't really play the guitar anymore, so I played it was very simple chords, so I could play it. And he sang it like with the little voice he had left. And he was crying a little bit. And he was like, and he felt very ashamed for being emotional, for crying. But this was really nice that he had this moment of like letting himself be like a little bit, at least a little bit emotional with us.
Was he afraid in the end?
I think he was mainly tired in the end. He was very tired. He wanted to get this over with. And yeah, I think the most important thing that he didn't feel any significant pain in the end. And I think this is important. Like, this is like the worst death, right? Dying with like extreme pain. Like he was asleep while he died. So like a very peaceful death. So yeah, I think this is like, at least we could give him that, you know? Yeah. What should we drink to?
To sons being there for their fathers.
Uh-huh.